Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Daily Yab number 21, and today I want to talk about something that I think it's really important for people to know, which is that you should keep yourself busy. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, the statement would be something like, if you're not busy, you will be unhappy. And why is this? Well, I can tell, first of all, from experience. I personally am a very goal-oriented person, and what makes me happy is to build things. That being work, relationships, or maybe personal projects. However, I do understand that not all people, actually, not most people are like me. Most people, I feel like they just want to, live their lives, have like a normal lives. So like work, but not work like super hard, and then also party, and enjoy life. And the thing is that I've seen how some people in my life, both like just acquaintances, but also friends, when they stop doing something about their lives, that being, if you when you're like in high school, it's pretty easy because you go to school. When you're in university, it's also pretty easy because you go to university. And when you start working, well, you start working. But at that point in your life, you realize that, okay, like this is it for the next 40 years. And there's a lot of people that just work. And it's crazy because the people that just work, they never like just do their work and nothing else. They usually like double down on work. They are like, workaholics. Or the other way around, like some people that just do work and they do nothing else. I've seen that and they become unhappy. Now, why is this? Well, my theory is, basically the mind evolved to survive, right? And the thing is that nowadays survival is so easy. Like, honestly, it's super easy. Like, you're never going to die as long as you have like a support network. And even if you don't have much of that, you would still like be fine. But I've seen people waste their lives. I've seen some friends that are just spend all of their time into their home. And sure, they are watching videos, they are distracting themselves. But they are not really happy, And maybe this is a weird thing to say because of course I'm not inside their mind. But, after some years of knowing someone, I think that you can tell if they are like thriving or the other way. So, yeah, I mean, what I find myself is that since I'm a very goal-oriented person, what I do is that I put myself some goals. That means saving a certain amount of money or maybe achieving some fitness goals that I do have. And honestly, every time that I'm working towards that, that makes me happy. Every time that you achieving something, especially something that you wanted to achieve, it's a great thing. And on the other hand, I see these friends and then you see it's like the years pass, their life's the same. And you can tell that they are like bitter people. But they are not bitter about something. It's like they are just bitter. And why is this? Well, once again, like the mind evolved to survive. When you don't have challenges in your life, when you have obstacles to overcome, your mind starts wandering. And, that's not intrinsically a bad thing, right? I feel like a lot of philosophy, I personally like that. A lot of like thought into your own life, can be good. Because at one point you need to like stop and thinking about stuff. That being your own life, the state of the world, maybe the meaning of life, whatever. So a little bit of that, it's good, like don't get me wrong. But too much of that is detrimental to your own happiness. It's because, the mind, it's made to get yourself out of difficult situations, right? And when your mind is like not working in anything, it starts wondering, starts saying like, okay, but what about this and what about that? And that's when overthinking happens. Now, this is something that I personally, I think I struggled to accept for a long time. I always thought that for whatever reason, the mind and just thinking was like something good, But, at one point in my life, I came to live in Pucón. And in Pucón, I'm alone. Well, I'm with my dog right now, but, no company, human company. And I had no friends. And I was like, great, this is some time to think. And to be honest, the first, I want to say like 3 weeks, maybe a month, maybe a little bit more even. Those were great because I was like, okay, now I really have time to actually think about things in my own life, very personal stuff. As well as, the big questions, and like revisiting them because, when you start adulting, you realize that you don't have as much time to do those things that you used to do back in the day. However, after that time, I realized that I was starting to stagger. I was just watching YouTube videos that really didn't add something to my life. They were informative, but it wasn't information that was actually interesting to me. It was more like a way to pass time. And also, I started smoking a lot of weed. And I'm not a weed hater, I'm actually a weed lover. But I do realize that, weed makes you happy about doing nothing, right? Like, it makes you content with just how things are. Like, after work or maybe late at night, you smoke a bowl and then you go watch, like a funny movie or like a funny series and you're fine. And sure, at the moment, that's great. If you need to decompress, that's great. But when that becomes your life, that is something really void. It's not harmful. I'm not saying that, it's like, oh, you should go out and do something because reasons or because society. No, it's not any of that. It's because of you. It's because of yourself. So, just to be pretty clear, what happened in my own life that made me realize that I had to keep myself busy was that, well, I had like a lot of free time. I was not doing physical exercise. I was wasting most of my time watching videos. Luckily for me, I don't spend that much time in social media, although my social media consumption did go up. And yeah, I feel like I barely left the house at that time. And at one point I was like, yeah, you know what? I need to change this because I'm not being happy. And the moment that I went back to the gym, or I don't remember exactly what it was, but the moment that I was like, you know what? Now I'm going to put a goal for myself and just go and do it. I went back to being like, this is so nice. And sure, there's a struggle of like the hike or, the what do you call it? When you're like flojo. Oh, God damn it. When you're like lazy, right? And you don't want to wake up in the morning and, drive all the way to that place. And maybe the climate's, the weather is not the best. But, when you push through all of that and then you do the thing, your brain kind of like goes off, right? Like the mind is not so important when you're actually struggling about something. And that's liberating because that's the way, that's the natural way. And that's the thing, at the end of the day, the reason it's because it's the natural way that humans have lived and that animals live. Like even dogs, they become depressed if they don't get out of the house at least for a couple times a day. I've learned that with Vodka, who's right there with me. So yeah, I don't want to keep dragging on this conversation. I've realized in my own life that being busy is something that you should do. It doesn't have to be busy like work related. It doesn't have to be busy productivity related. But you have to do something. And that's something, hopefully something that you want to chase, that you want to do. But even if it's not, honestly, it's better, do that than do nothing. And once again, this is not a thing that it's like, oh, it's wrong to at any point in your life do nothing for some time. No, that's fine. But keep in mind that if you do that for too long of a time, you will be unhappy. And maybe you might not even realize. You will think that things are fine. But deep down you will be not satisfied. You will be just okay. And that's also not, at least for me, the state of living that I want to have. Anyway, this has been Daily Up number 21. I'll see you tomorrow.